Hello, Star Citizens. Two massive things have just happened a couple of hours ago that we've gotten our hands on. The Mark II Hornet is here. And there's a cool dynamic event thing happening as well. But before I begin, remember to subscribe down below. So the F7C Hornet Mark II, the much prettier brother of the regular F7C, is finally here and available for players to purchase. It is a beefy little lad, coming in with two size 4 weapons, a little bit of cargo space for you to do some delivery missions with, and a whole retort of things that you would expect a medium fighter to have component-wise. The biggest thing about this ship is that it is very pretty. It is much better looking, in my opinion, than the regular Hornets that we've been seeing for the longest time. And this is a ship that a lot of people have wanted to exist for a long time, but there's always been sort of a back and forth of whether or not it should be just a reskin, essentially, of the regular Hornet, or if it should be its own ship, and it looks like it's going to be its own ship. Coming in at $160 USD for a war bond, it is very pricey. Combat ships always sort of tend to be, so I personally would recommend that you never buy this for real money, and you instead try to pick it up for in-game cash. However, there is an upgrade available for the F7C with the F7A Hornet, the military version of the Hornets, thanks to the new dynamic event. So if you were unaware, in the last PTU, we had a chance to try out the Overdrive Initiative. This is a kind of like a precursor dynamic event before the regular Xenothreat invasion begins, the one that we all know with the Idrises and the Javelin that you've got to protect, that sort of thing. The event itself is in multiple stages, and it looks like that's going to be the case here for this event too. So the first stage, you're doing a bunch of hacking missions. You've got to do 5 of those before you unlock the next stage. For the current adaptation, it looks like what they're trying to do is instead they're going to, at a week of their choice, I guess, decide that Wave 2 opens, and then we get those missions available, and so on all the way to the end. I do highly recommend that you go out there and actually do these missions with some friends, especially the first phase. You will struggle once you get to 4 and 5 to do these solo, as you kind of need someone there to run around and check all of the screens to make sure that you've got the right numbers to stop the servers from overheating. And even in the further phases, you're going to want more and more people. This is a very different way of them doing a dynamic event, but in my opinion, it's a great way of them doing it because it's not time locked. You can essentially do these at any time because they work just like regular missions. So that's going to be a big thing that you want to get on. The reason that we talk about that with the F7A is because of this little piece of text here. The next generation of space superiority is here. The Mark II refines Anvil's tried and true Hornet formula to better combat the ever-growing threat to humanity with improved weapons, defense, and maneuverability. To ensure the future safety of UEE space, all F7C owners who play their part during the Overdrive Initiative will receive a complimentary upgrade to the F7A, a military exclusive that hits even harder with additional turrets and missiles. Some big important things before we get into this is there is already an FAQ, and the devs were very, very quick to clear up a bit of confusion. You do not need to own an F7C Mark II in order to get the F7A Mark II upgrade. That's going to be going to pretty much everyone who participates in the event. And you can join it late. You don't even need to join during phase 1. You can join in a later phase, but try to get in before the end so that you can get that upgrade. This is pretty decent, especially if we do get the opportunity to use the F7A upgrade for like future hull upgrades. Like if I want to get a Hercules C2 and the F7A isn't really appealing to me, I would imagine I could buy an F7C, use the upgrade to the F7A, and maybe that'll give me a little bit extra money towards the end. I would still have preferred some type of hangar upgrade possibly, or something that doesn't involve me spending money would be much more ideal. However, it's not the worst. You know what I mean? Like, this is still much better than the gold ticket event was and the Idris event has been. This is a big step up, in my opinion. But they still have a long way to go before they make these events actually really good. The other thing I would say is the missions themselves, when we did get a chance to do them in the PTU, are quite enjoyable. They're essentially regular missions that already exist in the game with a little twist, a little bit added to them. So make sure you do group up and you go and do those missions. And that's literally it. It's just a big news post. Are you going to get yourself the F7C? Are you going to try to get yourself the F7A Mark II? It's a insane looking ship. It has 2 size 4s and 4 size 3s. Quite a lot of firepower for a medium fighter. And are you excited for the Overdrive event? The big thing about this is supposed to be the event that leads us into 323. It's kind of like, you know, other MMOs have like pre-patch events. This is a pre-patch event, and we don't really ever get those in Star Citizen. That's it from me. Make sure to hop on Answer the Call this week with Mike, where we're probably bound to end up talking about this if you want to talk about it. Should be good fun. Have a good one, guys. There we go.